Hi, I'm Titli and this is the calm before the storm. It's quite a pleasant day at the moment, but don't be fooled. The weather forecast says that there's going to be heavy rain and gales moving in overnight. Anyway, last week I finished off that little piece of border on the grass, and I also had to go out and buy myself a new set of secateurs because I couldn't find the other ones. Notice that these have a nice bright orange bit on them, so I don't lose them so easily. Anyway, let's start off in Softfruit City. Here on this Blackberry trellis I've got two types of cane. I've got last year's old cane, which has given me fruit, and that's coming out, and I've got these new canes which I want to tie in place. So let's take out the old canes first. Ah, new secateurs. Liking these new secateurs. Now I can tie in what I've got left. Now I can see what space I've got. Usually I just wrap these long shoots around the trellis wire and they tend to stay in place pretty well. But others I need to attach to the trellis because I'm training them in new directions. Alright, he's good, he's all nicely tied into the trellis now. I think I'll deal with that josterbury next. My josterbury bush has been remarkably successful this year, and it's kind of hard to know how to deal with it. But I think what I'm going to do is, because there are a couple of new shoots, very strong looking shoots, I'm going to take some of the older wood out. Now again, you know me, I'm not afraid to prune, so if you're squeamish, close your eyes now. I'm going to take this one out. So there we are, job done. Wasn't so bad really, was it? I mean, all that's gone, and what I'm trying to do now is encourage new shoots to come from much lower down. I've already got a few, but it'd be nice to make this more bush-like in the future. Woohoo! We can feel the weather changing. Next on my list are these taberries, and I started to arch them over. What I'm going to do now is try and spiral them round. And there you can see I've tied them onto the wires in a spiral shape. Oh, what's this? You see what happens when I leave the door to the fruit cage open? Stupidly, I hadn't locked it behind me. Hello, little Robin, you cheeky little thing. Fortunately, he's after the fruit and not me. But I've now got to try and get him out. Come on, how'd you go? No, not that way, this way, come on. Out! Out! There's no good flapping around down there, come on. How'd you go? How'd you go? Not that... Oh! Well, that's quite handy. Next, it's time to put a bit of shape into this gooseberry bush, hopefully without getting stabbed to death. So what I've done here is cut back all the downward pointing shoots and trim the longer shoots back a little bit too. Next on my attack list is the rhubarb. There is just so much of this. All gone. Well, I suppose it is that time of year to make rhubarb crumble. You can get tired of rhubarb crumble though. And finally, I've got some raspberries that need picking. Picking raspberries at this time of year, you really do have to watch out for the bugs, because there's wasps buzzing round. You quite like the fruit. There's earwigs trying to find little places to hide, so I'm always very careful to look at the fruit I'm picking, because I don't want to pick any beasts with it. It's looking good though. Well, that's not a bad little crop at all. I might put them in the crumble. I spy some rather nice beans again this week. That's quite a good meal's worth there. And there are loads of flowers and tiny little beans. It's just going to get more and more as the weeks go on. Well, there's one more bit of harvesting to do this week, and that's pick some of these lovely ripe tomatoes. There's lovely. A few of these will end up in tonight's chicken fowl, and what I don't use, I'm going to make some passata and keep it for some pasta sauce for the winter. With the threat of gales coming, I'm a little bit worried about this apple spindle. There's loads of fruit, but it isn't quite ripe yet. Now, a couple of years ago I lost an apple spindle which was as laden with fruit as this during high winds. In fact, it's where the pear tree is now. So I'm going to do something to help support this for the blowy weather ahead. Alright, normally the wind comes from the west, which is that direction. So hopefully just this little bit of extra support will stop it getting blown over. Now, the last job I want to do for today concerns the lavender. It's finished for the season, and one of the things that you notice about lavender is that after a while it tends to get very woody in the middle. I used to have this problem with the lavender in France too. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to trim it really quite hard and encourage all these little shoots down low to start bushing out. And there we are. Now, you may think that this is all terribly traumatic for the plant, but actually these things are quite sturdy. You can bash them about quite a bit. And also, if you remember last year after I transplanted this here, I said something like, now it clearly needs a good prune, this lavender bush. Somebody agrees with me. Now, hopefully what I've done is I'm encouraging the plant now to put out lots of new shoots from further down the plant, just like we've got here. Well, that's all I've got time for this week. Thanks for watching, and do join me next time in Titli's busy garden.